You're listening to the Paranormal Peeps on the Darkcast Network. Come to the dark side of indie podcasts with the Darkcast Network.
We have cookies. Between the realm of the dead and the journeys of the living, join Josh, Jamie, and Elisa as they delve into the vast world of the paranormal and breathe life back into the history of the departed.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Jamie.
And Elisa is taking some summertime off.
Well, yeah, she's got some littles at home and summer, out of schools, a lot of summer activities.
Yeah, I mean,
we're just a couple empty nesters, so it's very different for us.
It's so different. We are going to step into the cryptid world this time.
These ones are always, I don't know, sometimes comical.
Yes.
So what are we talking about this time?
We are going to talk about the Lusca.
What the heck is the Lusca? And where do you find one?
Ever see the movie Sharktopus?
You know, I've heard of them, and I can't believe that they made more than one or two.
I think they made 3 of them.
Yeah. But as far as ever watching it, no.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like a Sharktopus. At least in one of the listings of it. And they're actually found in blue holes in the Caribbean.
Interesting.
So for those that you don't know, blue holes are very deep caverns in the ocean. And a lot of times they also appear on land. So there's like this basically cave tunnel system from the ocean to land.
Okay.
And most of them haven't been explored because while diving in the ocean is fairly safe, diving in a cave is extremely dangerous, and most people don't dare do it.
Well, and that's why if you want to research it, you know, I'm sure that they have those little camera vehicle things that they can control.
Those drones?
Yeah, just send them down there and just map it out and see where it goes and what's down there.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with the ROVs is that they are required to have like enough cabling. So you might need like 6 miles of cable to explore these things.
And
I
mean, I know it's probably, I mean, it's a lot, obviously, but if you really want to know, you'll figure it out.
Well, this is true. You'll find a way to do it safely. I just think we need some of those underwater craft from Star Wars Episode 1, and that'd be perfect.
Sounds good. You get on that, okay?
I got the tech on it right now. I got Elon working on it for me.
Oh, geez. Okay. Moving on. Let's get into it.
All right. So you asked what they look like.
Well, you just said the cross between a shark and an octopus.
Well, that's some of the reports. Now, the other parts is that they're kind of like a chimera, like a mishmash of animals together. So some of them say it's part shark, including the dorsal fin, and octopus. Some say it's part dragon.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Yeah. Some say it's just a really big, giant octopus or a giant squid, which we know that, you know, giant octopus and giant squid exist in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Now, the big thing is a giant octopus is like 15 feet, which is still pretty big.
That's pretty big, but what are they saying this thing is? This Lusca.
Between 75 and 200 feet.
Okay, that's really a big gap.
It's a huge gap. So I'm guessing the 75 is like the little babies.
Oh, geez.
And the 200 would be, you know, a full-grown adult.
Isn't that bigger than a blue whale?
Yeah, so a blue whale clocks in about 100 feet.
Okay, this is getting more stupid. Okay, keep going.
So this thing is massive. And it actually says, they say it can swim or glide through the water at the speed of like a jet ski. So 30, 40 miles an hour. I'm not sure how fast jet skis go, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's pretty... For any animal that's not a fish, like a marlin or anything like that, that's really, really fast.
Is this thing an air breather?
No, thankfully it's got gills. So, I mean, obviously it breathes air, but it's not like a whale where it has to surface and breathe air in the atmosphere.
Right, it takes it from the water.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is good.
Meaning that the further down in the ocean you go, the less oxygen there is.
Right. Exactly.
So are we thinking that this thing lives on the bottom of the ocean?
Well, at least potentially in the bottom of the blue holes, which are at least, most of them are somewhere between 175, 200 feet deep. So not, like ocean, like bottom of the ocean deep, but still pretty down there.
Okay.
And also, if they're living in that type of a cave system, there's no sun down there. So what are they, like, their eyes have got to be huge.
I mean, their eyes have got to be bigger than your head.
Yeah, at that size, they would have to be probably the size of your body.
Well,
like
5-foot
eyes.
One, a creature that big. Yeah. 2, if it lives way down where there's no light and it's just darker than dark, those critters tend to have a lot larger eyes.
Yeah. So it's also described to have razor sharp teeth.
Of course.
Because it's part shark.
Tentacles.
Multi-suckered tentacles, which, okay, also makes sense, right? Sometimes it looks like a giant colossal octopus, which that doesn't have a shark's head at all. Other says it has multiple heads.
Oh, geez.
And even some of the descriptions, it kind of sounds like an evil spirit. So maybe what this is the ghost of the Kraken.
And it can shapeshift.
Well, if it's a ghost, it can do whatever it wants, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a ghost. I couldn't tell you.
Well, when that happens, we'll tell each other and we'll come back on the podcast.
Okay, cool. May it not be for a long, long time.
Absolutely. So some people have said it has is like a squid eel hybrid instead of a shark octopus hybrid.
So what you're telling me and what I'm hearing is nobody has a bleeping clue.
Yes.
Let's face it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Which means, okay, think about this. We've only searched and explored, 6 to 10% of the ocean.
Yeah, I think it's 10%.
Well, so I've heard 6 too. But anyway, let's say 6 to 10% of the oceans. Yep. Okay. There could be, obviously, there's going to be a lot out there that we have no idea. Yeah. Right? But this thing that is this massive, surely there have been sightings.
Well, you would believe that there actually have been quite a few sightings of this thing. Which is good, right? Because if there had been sightings, why would we even be talking about it?
Well, people tend to lie.
Well, they do.
A lot. For their 15 minutes or just to feel important or recognized.
Yeah, or they make things up.
Sure. Or they don't know what they saw. It could have been something perfectly normal. And then their mind just fills in the blank trying to make sense of it. Yeah.
So have you heard of the St. Augustine monster?
Very little.
So
seems like any body of water that there's some sort of a monster in it.
Yeah. So this is St. Augustine, Florida. So, which we all know, it's famous for the St. Augustine Lighthouse. But back in 1872, there was this thing that washed up on the shores.
Okay, we've had things wash up on the shores a lot.
Yes. So it was like this big blobby thing with tentacles.
Okay, could that not have just been a deceased octopus that had just started decomposing? And so it kind of altered its appearance because of the decomposition. I mean, that would be my first thought.
Right. I mean, that'd be everybody's first thought, right? Because it's like, well, here's this thing that is just floating up, and it floats up on the beach. So they actually described it as a colossal octopus found dead on the beach.
Okay, fair.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is that it showed signs of injury, like something was eating it.
Sure, that happens a lot in the ocean. Just when a whale dies and they float to the top, you have sharks and all manner of critters eating on that.
Exactly. So while the tentacles were like much shorter than the body, so like usually the tentacles are much longer than the body, right? So they actually determined that this thing was much, much larger than it was.
They determined, but based off of what?
The science at the time of 1872.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to put much stock into this. Okay.
It's really hard to put a ton of stock into it, right? And the thing is most of the people don't believe that this was an actual Lusca sighting. They believe it was like something a whale coughs up, or a blob,
like, ooh,
lobster.
This sushi ain't sitting right.
Exactly. So they weren't thinking it was actually a Lusca, but there are quite a few people who actually accredit this as the first sighting of a Lusca.
But they even said it looked like a colossal octopus.
Right, which also is part of the reporting of the Lusca. So it's like...
So is this thing not just what it looks like in their, what they've said? Just a colossal octopus?
Could be, but we're talking about an octopus that at this time would be 3 times the size of any known octopus living in the region.
So they look at sharks today and megalodons back in the day.
True. So, yeah, it could be just, like I said, it's
same thing. Yeah.
So we'll move forward to 1925. So during Forrest G. Wood's 1956 survey of the Grand Bahamas, the commissioner of the island, an Andros native, told him that he had seen a giant scuttle when he was around 12 years old, which was around 1925. He and his father and a companion were fishing in 600 feet of water when something caught on the hook. Through the clear water, it was seen that a large octopus was clinging to the line. It detached from the hook and grabbed the bottom of the boat before letting go and returning to deeper water. The commissioner did not specify how large the octopus was, but stated that it was much larger than any known species.
Okay, so this thing was underwater.
Yep.
Okay. Water can distort the way things look.
Oh, yeah. It's a lens.
Exactly. It works like a lens. So, I mean, could it not be just they mistaken the size because it was underwater?
Oh, absolutely.
Did they see it in its entirety?
No, because it just sucked to the bottom of their boat.
Right. Well, and that's my point. How much of it did they see?
Yeah. Don't know. I mean, if it was up that close to the boat, I mean, it had to have been within, 4 feet of the top of the water.
But
so
how big was the boat? It was obscured by the boat because it clung to the bottom of the boat. How much of it did you really see?
I wish I had answers for all of those questions.
But these are,
yeah,
I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying what everybody else is thinking. Well, hopefully,
right?
Yeah, it is.
If you're in a 10-foot dinghy and a giant octopus grabs the bottom of your boat, it's going to seem massive.
Well, and it doesn't even have to be giant, really, but it's a large one's going to be like, whoa, it's the Kraken, it's taking us down.
Exactly. But if you're in a 150-foot super yacht,
well, then you may have something there.
Yeah. Then it's going to be huge. But if it's still the same 10-foot size octopus, obviously it's not going to seem the same.
Well, and these are all details that we don't have.
Exactly.
We don't have these details. So of course I'm going to throw those questions out there because there's other factors in there.
Yep. So in 1938, shortly before his retirement, an American sailor named Frank Hurricane Clark mentioned in a newspaper interview, reminiscing about his career at sea, an observation of a giant octopus of unknown size in the Bahamas. He says, then, 500 miles east of the Bahamas, I lay becalmed for 3 days while a large squall slowly built up between me and the land. I knew it was a hurricane. It was then that a giant octopus came near the tiny boat and was attacked by tiger sharks. I took cover in the cabin because that was one time I was afraid. I never saw such a thrashing and churning in all of my life. The sharks finally took him under.
Okay, so it surfaced to a degree because it's in the water. I wonder if it's one of those things where it was maybe slightly injured, right?
Yeah.
Because if a lot of sharks come in and it's like this feeding frenzy, usually it's sustained some sort of injury because sharks can smell what? Like a mile or two away, blood and...
Yeah,
it's quite a ways.
It's quite a ways. And, I mean, tiger sharks are knowingly aggressive.
Okay, so maybe they're just really hungry and just ganged up on them.
Yeah.
Feeding frenzy. I don't know, but...
Yeah, it's very possible.
I would be scared, too, though, if there's a lot of thrashing going on around your little boat.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. I mean, you get some 8-foot, 10-foot sharks thrashing around eating something next to your boat,
going nuts.
You're probably going to be scared.
You're going to be scared because I'd worry about capsizing with all that thrashing going around.
Exactly.
Because they said it was a tiny boat.
Yep. He did say tiny boat.
Yes.
After Wood published an article in Natural History describing the Lusca and other giant octopuses, a returned U.S. Navy officer named John C. Martin wrote to him to report a sighting he had made off the coast of Florida around Fort Lauderdale and St. Augustine in the March or April of 1941. He said, dead ahead of our course appeared something on the surface of the water that could not be readily described. The closer we approached, it looked like a huge pile of brown kelp seaweed. As it moved into view, there was no doubt as to its identity. The coils of its arms were looped up like huge coils of manila rope. However, the coils were over 36 inches in circumference. Deduction was compared to the girth of my waist at the time.
Interesting.
So that's thick. That's a big tentacle.
Yes, it is. That'd be quite scary.
So Martin believed that the animal had been brought up from the depths by the activities of a pair of destroyers, which were disturbing local waters. Until reading Wood's article, he had not realized that what he saw could be something unknown to science.
I think there's a lot of things unknown to science down in the ocean.
Right?
Yep.
You gotta wonder, did he see a giant squid? Like, they've been known to, at times, come up from the depths, especially after they die and stuff like that.
Sure.
Sometimes they will rise.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'm sure he would have known a squid over something else.
Maybe. I mean, if that... Either way, it's a startling sight. So if it was a giant squid... which we do know those absolutely exist.
Yep.
Would you just be so like stunned by seeing this thing that you just think it's an octopus?
I mean, you're not counting tentacles, right?
Okay.
The number of things.
No, you're not. But I mean, when you hear, like, if I were to say tentacles, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Octopus.
Exactly.
Then squid.
But a lot of people would be like you, octopus.
Yep.
They see tentacles, they're like, octopus. I mean, was this thing like, I don't know, not fully out of the water, obviously, but...
It was like floating at the top. So it was dead, or dying.
Yeah. Interesting.
Chances of, I don't think octopus or octopi or squid come up.
No, definitely not squid.
Hide.
Well, and squid, when they're at the surface, right, they're like horizontal.
Because they're swimming.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying they don't ever just pop up directly.
In a ball of mass.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have somewhere around 1997. So Randy Wayne White traveled to the Cat Islands in 1997. Locals attempted to persuade him not to dive in the nearby mangrove lake, which they feared as the home of a man-eating monster. One respected local, elderly farmer Gator Ishmael, told White that he had once caught a glimpse of what appeared to be a large, carnivorous animal in the lake, which had snatched the carcass of a horse that had died on his father's farm. He said, a big animal died on this island. We had always burned them or put them in the water. I was a young man at the time, and I remember how it was. It was on a Sunday, and we pushed this horse into the lake. It was not so very long as we see a big ridge of water coming towards us, like a big ripple. And this thing came from under the water to take the horse away. It dragged the whole horse beneath the water. It vanished down there in the depths. Then, when I know a dangerous creature lived in the lake, because a horse, it's not a small thing, man. My grandmother, she told me that the creature was a mermaid. What I know it is this whole island used to lie beneath the sea. And when it pleased God to raise some of it up to the dry land, it could be that a huge creature was left in the holes beneath the water. Giant octopuses, maybe. I don't know. But there's something in that lake, man. That much I know, for I've seen it my own self.
So it doesn't sound like he actually saw the creature technically, but he saw the big ripple and he saw the horse disappear underneath.
Yes.
So yeah, whatever it was had to be big.
Yeah.
To take down a horse.
Yes. I mean, you're talking, 1,000 pounds for a horse?
Depends on the breed of horse.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a big thing. I mean, it's not a small little bite.
No, it's not. But whatever it is to drag that under would have to be sizable.
Yeah. So, do you remember Josh Gates did an episode with this on Destination Truth?
Oh, yeah.
So, he interviewed an Andros fisherman named Pete Douglas. And he claimed that he had seen a giant tentacled animal while diving in a blue hole. He said, I was down in the ocean blue hole, and as I checked it out, it just came up off the bottom. It was mainly a murkyish, grayish, brownish color, and then behind it, I saw a couple of tentacles rise above the bottom as it was slowly turning around, and it went back in. It was at least 40, 50 feet. It's huge.
I mean,
Which?
I don't doubt he saw something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't doubt that's size-wise. I think it can be hard to gauge in a situation like that. Like if you're in a smaller cavernous area, right?
Yep.
And you see this thing, it could look massive in that space.
Or it could fill it up. If you know, like if you think the thing is like 30 feet wide of a cavern, it could fill the whole cavern.
It could.
The funny thing about the octopi and stuff is they can kind of get big. They can.
They spread out.
Yeah, and the thing spreads out, and you can't really see it because it's super dark.
Oh yeah, he even said it was murky.
Yeah, murkyish, grayish, brownish color.
Yeah.
So it just blends in with the background.
So how do you know?
Exactly.
The outline of it completely.
Exactly.
I get seeing like maybe the main body, it blends in, it's murky looking, see a couple tentacles. Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
But that still doesn't give you any, I mean, he says 40 feet, right?
Yeah.
But how do you really know?
30, 40, 50 feet.
Okay, but how do you really know?
Unless you can grab it and measure it. Yeah, it's the best guess, right?
Well, and this is what makes these things so hard is that unless you're there to witness it yourself and, and then answer all the, what was the size of the space you were in? Was it large and very open or was it more narrow? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're there to actually and, experience it and see it yourself in the surrounding area, you really don't know.
No. So after Josh Gates was there and he did his thing, he interviewed a guy by the name of Rupert Timer, who was also interviewed by Jeremy Wade. Now, if you guys know who Jeremy Wade is, he's the guy that is on River Monsters. He goes fishing for all of these crazy creatures.
Yep.
So this guy said to Jeremy Wade, we were fishing for Dorado, and we happened to come across this strange animal. I thought it was a whale shark, but getting within 50 feet of it, found out it was a strange animal with tentacles with the head of a shark. The head was the kind of similar to a mako, which has a real pointed nose. The tentacles was the last thing that we saw. The whole thing was about 8 feet. I always remember that until the day I die.
Interesting.
So now this is a close, like 50 feet is a pretty close.
It's probably the best report so far that we've heard.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like it was half under the boat. And whale sharks, if they're comparing it to a whale sharks are sizable.
They are huge.
They are big.
They are a gentle giant fish, though.
They are. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you know what a whale shark, but that's the thing is, like, if you think it's a whale shark, you think it's this massive or potentially massive. I mean, they are small when they're little, right? But then you see that it has a head of a mako shark and tentacles.
Yeah, that
is weird.
That's weird, but I don't know.
So here's the last one, the last reporting. This one is actually recent. It's from 2022.
Oh, very recent.
Very recent. And so this guy says, I've always treated this as a hoax at first, but enough people say they've seen it. We've got to take it seriously. The island police constable, Rafe Marquette, says it's basically a shark with tentacles or an octopus with teeth, depending on who's describing it, and about 20 feet long. So now this is actually like reasonable size. Yeah,
better than 75 to 200 feet.
Right? So we're telling folks to use their best judgment about going into the sea. No Lusca attacks have ever been recorded, but anything that big and that toothy, you've got to be mindful of it. Can't guarantee folks' safety. Which is true.
Beware when you go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, right? So Antonio Fletcher, who's a local cryptozoologist, says it's been a while since the Luscas come into the shallows. They live way down the wall under the island. That's what gets divers who go too deep. Coming close to the shore like this, it's looking for food or a host for its eggs. Divers right to be afraid. They're the low-hanging fruit out there. He said last month a couple of snorkelers had something grab them, come up out of the water with suction cut marks on their legs. I warned folks then. They had just laughed it off. This happened before, got a photo from the 70s, and the university studies confirmed it.
Interesting.
There's no studies from this university confirming Luscas or any other sea monster. That's from Tipperary University black tip marine biologist Professor Ernest Majaro. He said there's zero evidence of such cryptid existence other than a blurry photo of some unidentified blob on the beach from 50 years ago, which is the famous St. Augustine monster. There is a photo of it. You can find it.
Yep. Seen it.
So there's cramps and sunburns are threats to swimmers. Are sharktopus? Not so much. So Chrissy Graceby says, fishermen see them all the time. These sightings keep happening. I'm not going near the water till somebody whacks this thing.
Okay, but who's to say there's just one? I mean, didn't you just say that they look for people to plant their eggs in?
Well,
a host?
They probably mean it's like a place to like lay their clutch of eggs.
Well, a host?
Yeah.
That seems like another living thing to me.
It sure does.
Okay, so if that's the case, then if someone whacks one, there might be 20 more out there.
There might be. Just last week, it attacked a diver. He shoved his camera at it for defense, and it snatched the camera and swam away. Otherwise, we'd have a photograph and a video.
Yeah, we've heard this before.
back to Antonio Fletcher. He says, this thing's dangerous. It's coming into the shallows. Alarm bells should be flashing. We got to do something. Me, I go out in the afternoons, throw frozen pizza and chicken strips into the sea. If the Lusca eats those, its arteries will clog, and that'll be the end of it.
This is an animal you know nothing about. This is a creature you know nothing about. But hey, can we get some ranch for those chicken strips? Maybe some
sauce,
red pepper flakes for the pizza.
Right?
Could you at least cook the pizza? I mean, frozen, yeah.
It'll warm up in the water. I mean, if nothing else, he's feeding the local marine life.
I suppose, yeah. Oh, jeez.
So it's mainly been spotted on Andros, is what they're saying, and in the blue holes. And so it's like, well, how many blue holes are actually on Andros Island?
I don't know. That's something we'd have to go look up.
200.
Oh, are you kidding?
No.
Okay, but
less than 6% have been viewed.
Okay, so out of these 200, we don't really know what ones are like massive. Like they're not all going to be massive.
No, and less, like I said, less than 6% of all of that has been explored.
Exactly. Time to get exploring.
Yeah. The problem is like they're so deep. Because Josh Gates dove into 2 of them on his expedition.
Yeah.
He dove down to 150 feet and 175 feet. And during that descent at the bottom, they got huge sonar hits of something big down there with them. And then Josh said that he saw something move. And then at that point in time, they're like, you need to get out of there.
Yeah. Retreat.
So something is down there.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't doubt something's down there that's probably sizable. I think a lot of things have been exaggerated, of course, because there's so many unknowns. So we kind of fill in those blanks with, it's like the fish story, you know, oh, yeah, I caught this fish. It was 3 feet long. And then next thing you know, it's 30 feet long.
Right.
You know, so I'm sure that things have been added and taken away, and this thing has grown in size, grown in, you know, its characteristics. So, but yeah, I do believe that there are large creatures that live in oceans and down in these blue holes. What? I don't know.
No, and the thing is because they're so deep, their bodies aren't designed to dive that deep. And there's very few people in the world who are licensed to even cave dive, let alone cave dive that deep.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, super dangerous. So there are some theories, some additional theories of what a Lusca is. We have a ghost of a drowned woman transformed into a beast. Hair, not tentacles, gliding behind it, dragging men down to their grave. A creature that is similar to the dreaded Banshee or La Llorona. A specter caught in an endless loop, spurred by either her grief or her anger.
Why not both?
Why not both? It is a Banshee and a La Llorona. It is both creatures. Now, this is the one I actually kind of think is potential possible. A yet unidentified deep sea creature. Kind of like the Kraken or the Megalodon. They may actually really just be an animal that's really good at hiding.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this critter could look at people and think, what the heck is that? What are those things? You know, I better stay away from them unless I want to eat them.
Yeah.
Try them out, see if I can rotate them into my diet.
They don't come down here very often, so.
They're like, these are like little Skittles with flippers.
and crunchy tanks on the back. Some think it might actually be a mermaid or a merman or a water nymph.
Yeah, but that wouldn't explain the size then.
No.
Like, that would have to be a huge mermaid.
Yeah. That'd be like...
Or merman.
That'd be like King Triton.
Times 100.
Yeah.
Or 1,000.
So some say it might be a dragon-like being, perhaps the last of its kind. Others believe the Lusca is a lost dragon, something from the Orient, a remnant of the ancient civilization of massive beings now in exile, hidden or forced to hide in underwater caves.
Yeah, but this thing, it's got to get hungry. And if it's that big, it's got a massive appetite.
Yeah. Or really slow metabolism, so it doesn't got to eat much.
I don't know.
That's why it only takes a diver once every 10 years.
Oh, jeez.
It's like a snake. An evil spirit that takes the form of the intended victim's worst fears. A common trope like Pennywise. Lusca, to some, is a demon or satanic beast that feeds off of souls.
Okay. See, so there is so many different descriptions and thoughts and theories.
Yeah.
Yeah. This probably is not one I'd waste my time on.
Yeah, the part that makes it so challenging, right? It's not like it lives in a big, deep, murky lake like Loch Ness. At least you have a single point to go look at. This has the entire Caribbean to hide in, from Florida to the Bahamas.
200 different blue holes.
That's only on Andros Island. That doesn't even include the rest of the blue holes that are in the Caribbean.
Well, see,
there's more.
So there's even more.
Yeah. Hope you all like this fun, weird cryptid story.
Yeah, and just a random question. Yeah. I don't know where I get it. What do you like to eat your chicken fingers with?
Oh, barbecue sauce.
Yeah, ranch.
I like ranch too. Sometimes buffalo sauce is always good if you got the right one.
Now we should ask the Lusca what he likes to dip his chicken fingers in that are thrown into him. Do they throw a couple ranch cups or barbecue sauces in there?
Maybe just uses little fish or crab. You know what? They throw in some avocado. They throw in some crab. Well, there's already crabs down there, right? And then he makes an avocado crab salad to dip his chicken fingers with.
Weird. And does the guy ever change it up, or is it always frozen pizza and chicken fingers? Or is it the same kind of pizza? Pepperoni? Cheese? Supreme?
Like
seafood?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, hopefully once in a while he throws some McDonald's down there just to give him a little bit of a variety.
Do you think there's a McDonald's on Andros?
I have no idea. Isn't McDonald's everywhere?
Pretty much. There's probably one in the middle of the ocean. So everybody, if you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Find us on YouTube and all of our social media accounts. And as always, stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Cold Spot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research.